Travis Wayne Goodsell. This is the pre-show. The identity reveal, LDS identity reveal pre-show. Oh, dear God. Oh, man. Crazy old The Return. Always good for a laugh. If you've been paying attention, there's been a guy claiming to be The Return as the title of his channel, and he's daring me to call out that I'm the Messiah. And he's tried to, as I've now exposed him, he's been trying to deceive me as if he were also a Mormon. So that's why I toy around with certain people. If I'm stringing you along with your comment chain, you know I'm stringing you along to expose you. It's a danger alert you should have been aware of. I hold all my comments for review. I do not let abusive comments and stupid comments and ignorant comments and hate comments and blah blah blah. And so he should have known. He fell right into it. He's not even Mormon. He has no clue about Mormon doctrine, Mormon beliefs. And so now that I've exposed him, yeah, if he thinks he's going to continue this nonsense, he will be banned, and all my comments to him will also disappear with him. But oh my God. Oh man. He thought he had a got you moment as he quoted from one of my videos. And I, in the video, explain. He doesn't catch it. Oh my God. Hilarious. Oh, but yeah, you expose yourself as dumb when you think you're going to dunk on someone else's religion with another religion. You can't do that. You lose automatically. If you're going to criticize the Mormon church, you have to do it as a Mormon or with Mormonism. You can't criticize Mormonism with Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, etc. You have to do it with Mormonism. This is my whole channel, guys. Born and raised Mormon. So, oh, dear God. So, the church has led me to believe there is only one and only one Messiah. There can be no other. Even when I was working with the church priesthood curriculum department as a church service missionary, working on the footnotes, we came across a passage in the Old Testament, in one of the scriptures, that talked about multiple Christs. It was Isaiah. and David Gaunt was the one who ruined the footnotes for all of you. You can thank him, because in section 107 it explains the policy that we incorporated into our group committee project, that we have to be in 100% agreement or nothing gets changed from the original errors. And so David Gaunt was the one who said, nope, there is only one and only one Messiah. There's only one. There cannot be any others. What happened when you went through the temple and were washed as a high priest and then anointed as a king, which makes you a Christ, a Savior on Mount Zion? That's what an anointed one is, a Christ. And so, yeah, David Gaunt ruined it for all of you, as Bruce R. McConkie was wrong. Oh, yep, throwing shade on the dead. It's easy to do. He wrote Mormon Doctrine, talking about blacks as fence sitters, and all sorts of nonsense. So yeah, I can throw shade on him. Whoosah. Just hilarious. Oh my God. You're false because you're not Christian. Oh man. And so yeah, I grew up thinking that. By the time I was working as the church service missionary, though, I knew the correct answer. I had figured out what I had been lied about. And so, yeah, it has been a journey, as it required me to do the research to figure out what the hell is going wrong with this church. Because nobody's telling me the answers, everybody's perpetuating the lies, everybody is perpetuating the confusing doctrines that contradict and don't make any sense. And so if I'm going to be a Mormon, because I was born and raised into it, I'm going to figure it out. And I did. And that's what I learned, was that Joseph Smith was teaching us in his historically inaccurate, confusing, and yeah, just too many problems with it, history of the first vision, but it teaches the principle that if you have a question in life, and he used religion as his question, which was not his question at all when you look back at the real history. And so for me, being born and raised Mormon, going to church, listening to contradictory information, from sacrament meeting to my primary and then later Aaronic priesthood classes, and then going all the way up, it just, the inconsistencies and the errors and the false doctrines just abound that contradict each other even. Those were the different churches all using the same Mormon scriptures. And so, yeah, the first vision most likely being impressed upon my mind was how I knew what to do, as to figure out Mormonism. And sure enough, I didn't have space aliens come down in a pillar of light to tell me that all Mormonism is wrong. But in so finding out the answer, yeah, Mormonism is wrong. Not Joseph's Mormonism. the current Mormonism. After Joseph Smith was assassinated, Brigham Young is not the rightful successor. He had no authority, and he bore that fruit. By their fruits you shall know a false prophet. And so me, being born and raised in Brigham Young's church, I obtained the fruit. And that fruit exposed Brigham Young's division is false. And not just false, criminally evil. And so, if you're also unaware, because so was I, they don't tell us about James Strang. James Strang joined the church late in the game, and as he demonstrates, he joined only because of the claim that Joseph Smith had found lost treasure plates with ancient writing on them, and that he translated them into the Book of Mormon. Because James Strang, after Joseph Smith died, all of a sudden produced a document, a letter from Joseph Smith, signed by him, claiming that James Strang was to be the official successor of the church. But that's not all he did. He fooled prominent Mormons, even William Smith, and that says a lot, because William Smith apparently was not in on the Book of Mormon in the founding of the church. That says a lot. That Smith and Hiram and Senior tried to keep this as exclusive as they could, even within their own family. That is fascinating. Because I've done the videos. You can see the videos. He quotes me. All of that is from my research. And James Strang was able to deceive even William Smith by claiming he had found ancient, it wasn't really treasure, it was like a regular metal, but nonetheless, plates. And it had ancient writing on them, and he then doubled down. He not only showed people the plates, but he showed his translation of those plates that he himself created. Do you see how effective the Smiths were at concealing their ultimate warning, the warning voice that is referred to over and over again in the Doctrine and Covenants? But yet, the enemy still found out and had Joseph and Hiram assassinated. And that should scare all Mormons. Because who profited? Who's perpetuating the lie? Who's committing crimes under the name of religion? And so, he led a lot of people to follow him, prominent Mormons. However, when he got to his little island Zion off of Michigan, he then declared a prophecy that God had told him to start polygamy. This should also tell you guys another thing that the church is still lying about after covering it up. Joseph Smith did not practice polygamy. William didn't know about it and was offended when James Strang brought it up. How do we know they were all offended? James Strang ended up being assassinated. We don't know who did it. It may or may not have been William. But clearly, these prominent Mormons knew nothing of polygamy and wanted nothing to do with it. They followed the Book of Mormon. They followed Joseph's Doctrine and Covenants. No polygamy. Yet Brigham Young is claiming, oh no, Joseph was practicing it in secret, going against what he was publishing. See here, Willard Richards had created these sealings for you to see the proof. No. Brigham Young was the evil one, who was practicing it in secret, who sealed a third wife to Heber C. Kimball while Joseph was fleeing for his life because of what Brigham Young ordered Orrin Porter Rockwell to do, an assassination attempt on the governor. So, yeah, I mean, this is a no contest, guys. Joseph Smith was set up to be the restoring Messiah. In Paleo-Hebrew, it is this symbol. You see it? Is it too dark? It's the shield of David. In Paleo-Hebrew, it's the word for restoring prophet, restoring Messiah. Moses is considered by the Jews as a Messiah, the big Messiah of Messiahs. There is no other Messiah bigger, because the Torah is the 5 books of Moses. He is their Christ. But the Jews also know that they're looking for a latter-day Messiah who will be bigger than Moses. Because Jeremiah chapter 23 says so. That's what the Jews are looking for. That's what the Jews are waiting for, is to be saved. The Christian Jesus of the Gospels, he failed. They even write it in their story. He failed. But as one who has deciphered Egyptian petroglyphs, now I know what the Gospels are. They're also apocalyptic literature, referring to the Egyptian scriptures, of which all religion comes from. And Joseph Smith was set up to be this restoring Messiah. It was his orders to build Zion and New Jerusalem and the temple before the latter days and the coming of the last days Messiah. We are told there will be false prophets, false Christs. This latter-day prophet, the millennial prophet as Mormons understand it, in the underground caverns of Mormon thought, he's the Messiah. Not Jesus Christ coming from outer space, flying on a horse, in a pillar of light to Adam-on-Diamond to receive the keys he already has, to then go over to Jerusalem, slaughter people, and then come back over to Independence, Missouri to reign on his throne for a millennial reign of peace. When I talk to you about code, this is what I'm referring to. The Book of Mormon copies a lot from the Bible, but they give us the clues to the key to unlocking the code. The dating for the latter days is encoded in astronomical signs in the heavens that come from Revelation. the apocalyptic literature of apocalyptic literature. Chapter 12, all of those signs right there in the first several verses, they're all dates, specific future dates, which now are in the past. They've all happened. We're in the latter days. We're in those dates. The other is chapter 19. That's the flying horse one. And Rapturepalooza already murdered him. He's not coming. He's dead. I saw it myself. It was tragic. I mean, the horse. What did the horse do wrong? It's a horse. Leave the horse alone. But yeah, he's dead. God is dead. Lucifer is dead. Everybody's dead. But if you're going to continue to be stuck in a Mormon version of Christianity, of a supernatural, natural deity, because Christians' deity is supernatural, they're not even supposed to comprehend him. They're not even supposed to comprehend that they can't comprehend him, because he's supernatural. Supernatural automatically disqualifies existence by its very definition. But yet, that's the Christian God. And Mormons want to be Christian. They want to have a natural, physical being with a body of flesh and bone who's already come to earth and failed, but has been resurrected and ascended to come back again, but yet in a supernatural manner, defying the laws of physics of which nature requires for a natural body, a physical body. These are some of the errors of contradictions in Mormon doctrine. This is the struggle I've had trying to communicate with Mormons who think that their feelings establish truth. And they refuse to listen as they shut off their brains when anyone, like me even, tries to say, hey, what are you doing? That's not our doctrine. Read the Book of Mormon, word for word. Moroni, chapter 10, verse 4 and 5, again. You've got it memorized. Refer to it again. Where does your oral tradition of practice match the words on the page? They don't match. What the hell are you doing? Why are you calling me the one who's twisting scripture, the deceiver, when it is you who cannot comprehend English? So, this is what's planned. Nelson is supposed to be this latter-day prophet because we're in the latter days. It's automatically him. He's the Messiah. He's the Christ. But Nelson is failing miserably. We have no city and temple of Zion. We have lots of temples. We have lots of cities where those temples are in. But they're not it. Nelson and the church have refused to build it. And so it's going to be a walk in the park, a piece of cake, a slice of pie, a slam dunk, a home run, a grand slam, etc. Because I, as a born and raised Mormon, merely wanted to know which of all these Mormon doctrines is the right one. and I was told they're all wrong. And I was educated as to the right one. And yes, I have scriptures for you too. It's on academia.edu. I show you how the Bible came from Egyptian petroglyphs. So I don't need to show treasure plates. That's Knights Templar coding with the Freemasons of the York Rites Lodge that the Smiths were a part of. But yeah, Ezekiel 37, I fulfilled it. That's one of the game winners for me against Nelson, who can't even get the definition of Israel right. The translation is so simple, they even give it to you. They hand it to you on a silver platter in the text, and he blew it. And they're still perpetuating it on the church website. Let God prevail. He's the Messiah. He's Yah, Prince of God. He blew it. Because they're not the true church. He's not a true prophet. He's a false Christ, as prophesied. And so all I'm doing is exposing the real God for Mormons. And so we're going to do this in rounds in my video. Round 1, round 2, round 3, because I can't do a full long segment continuously. There's problems for today, as I've explained. And so I'll do the videos in segments, and then insert round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, and with the topic for the round, the contest. And everybody should know now. Mormons know. They just are scared because they don't know what to do once they find out the church is false. Where do you go? What do you do? What's the purpose of life? The church has purposely set that up for you to come back to them, purposely telling you that it's either them or there is no hope for existence. That's how evil they are. Because true Mormonism is agency. There are 3 kingdoms of glory in the afterlife. But we'll go over all that with the contest. But understand, it's okay to leave the church. There is life after church. But it's not Christianity. Oh, that guy was hilarious. Unbelievable. But I told you, he was purposely antagonizing me. And easy to expose. But he'll continue to antagonize me. So I'm expecting to have to delete him. Ban him. Just hilarious.